In a strategic move aimed at countering former President Donald Trump's intention to pardon those involved in the January 6th Capitol riot, discussions within the Biden White House have surfaced regarding the issuance of pardons for individuals labeled as anti-Trump figures. This could include high-profile political allies or public officials who have been or might be targeted for their opposition to Donald Trump. These considerations are part of a broader debate on the use of executive clemency powers, especially in the light of Biden's recent pardon of his son, Hunter Biden. Now, the public and political fields have reaction to this. The idea of such preemptive pardons has not been universally welcomed. California Governor Gavin Newsom has publicly voiced his disappointment, arguing that such actions might compromise the integrity of legal accountability. As quoted, quote, "This could be seen as an attempt to shield political allies from accountability, a move that many view as undermining the rule of law, and it encapsulates the concern among critics of Biden's pardons considerations." Now, as we analyze this, the impact of legal system and public trust, the erosion of legal accountability, the strategic use of pardons to protect political allies from legal scrutiny could further blur the lines between law and politics, potentially leading to a significant erosion of legal accountability. Critics argue that when pardons are used as political tools, the public's trust in the legal system is undermined, particularly if these actions are perceived more as protectionist rather than just are merciful. And there's constitutional concerns. From a constitutionalist viewpoint, the frequent and potential partisan use of presidential pardons, that's a lot of P's, potential partisan use of presidential pardons could be seen as a departure from the intended use of this constitutional power. The Constitution grants the president the authority to pardon with the understanding that it should serve justice or rectify judicial errors, not to manipulate the legal system for potential and political advantages. And that leads to the public trust in justice. The broader public discourse centers on the implications of these actions for the perception of justice in America. And if the public sees pardons as being used to favor one political side over another, it could lead to a further decline in trust in government institutions, especially the Justice Department, which is supposed to operate independently of political influence. So here we go down the line where Biden's pardon is considered the debate for justice and accountability. What's the ethical use of pardons? The potential issuance of pardons by Biden for anti-Trump figures has sparked a debate about the ethical boundaries of executive power. And the fundamental principle is whether pardons should be a tool for justice or as a means to shield allies from legal repercussions. And this scenario challenges the notion of fairness in legal proceedings, suggesting a selective application of law based on political affiliations. Meanwhile, if you go to gorightnews.com, you can check out a link for an article in the Daily Caller that talks about California Governor Gavin Newsom said he was disappointed that Joe Biden pardoned his son. Meanwhile, you can watch these two videos coming up. The first video is Charlemagne battles the hags on The View over Biden's pardoned Hunter.
Let me ask you something that's going around right now. A lot of this conversation about President Biden getting criticized from both sides of the aisle for pardoning his son Hunter after repeatedly saying he would never do it. And a lot of people are saying that it's hypocritical, et cetera, as if the other side doesn't do it. But what's your reaction to it?
I mean, I think all of the criticism is valid because, Democrats stand on this moral high ground all the time. And, they act so self-righteous. The reality is he didn't have to say anything in regards to whether or not his son wanted to be pardoned. He could have said, "Hey man, I'm not focused on that right now." But since they were calling Trump a threat to democracy, and they were saying that nobody's above the law, but they were speaking about him, that's what they were running on. So when he kept saying things like, nobody's above the law, I respect the jury's decision in regards to my son, he didn't believe that. But he didn't have to volunteer that lie to begin with.
I'm going to stop you for a second.
Uh-oh.
Only because you don't know that it was a lie. We don't know why he changed
You really think he just changed his mind over Thanksgiving weekend all of a
No,
sudden?
I'm going to tell you what I think.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he changed his mind because he got sick of watching everybody else get over. And this is just my feeling, because at some point you get to the place where you just go, so I'm just going to follow the straight and narrow always, because that's what's expected of Democrats.
But that's their fault. They're the ones that go out. They're the ones that go out there and they stand on this moral high ground. Listen, they don't have to do that.
I'm a Democrat. Tell me what the moral high ground is.
The moral high ground is nobody's above the law. I respect what the jurors are saying. He don't have to do that.
So we're mad at him because he changed his.
Oh no. By the way, I'm not mad at him pardoning Hunter Biden.
But you sound like you're
mad.
No.
And the next video after that is MSNBC Joy Reid's hated pardons under Trump, but changed her tune with Biden.
The presidential pardon was originally meant to grant the president the power to temper justice with mercy. It was not enshrined in our Constitution so that a dishonorable man could reward his criminal allies, friends, and family for their corrupt practices. I don't have a problem with Biden pardoning his son. He should have pardoned them. The crazies are coming, right? But to me, it's like, pardon more.
Go right news with Peter Boykin, we're making moves. Freedom and liberty always on the rise. Tune into the truth and open your eyes.